There you go.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah,
It's now pressed. Now it's pressed.
Hello. This is Infinite Humanitarians, and I'm Anne Marie Newman, your host, and I have the pleasure of interviewing people who are changing the world today, tomorrow, and in the future. Earlier this year, I had the honor of introducing you to Goumah Conde, and Goumah Conde is originally from Liberia. And as we covered in our first part, she lived through 9 of the 13 or 14 years of civil war in Liberia. She came to the United States and got several degrees and is now a family therapist in Atlanta, Georgia. But it doesn't stop there. She decided to give back to her home country. And so for many years, she has been counseling girls who have gone through traumas, physical traumas of rape, abuse, and other such horrible atrocities. So she gives lots of her time and talent each and every week to help these girls recover. But that wasn't enough. She wanted to go even further. And so she did. She started a camp, and she just had the wonderful anniversary of the second year of her camp. So we are going to pick it up from there. And in addition to Goumah, we also have a fabulous humanitarian and sweet friend of ours, Linda. And she actually traveled with Goumah and spent 28 days helping her with the camp in Liberia. So she is someone who walks the walk and talks the talk and shares from her heart. So Goumah, if you can you tell us a little bit about the journey this summer and some highlights of the 28 days that you were there?
Yeah, sure. So, our journey started around the first week of July. Linda, myself, and my 3 daughters. My whole family went eventually, but it started off with the 4 of us. We left here and had some flight issues. Ended up in Ghana, West Africa, spent, I think, a night there, and well, first a night in Brussels, then a night in Ghana, and we finally made our way to Monrovia, which is where we we were going to do camp. So it was a stressful and wonderful trip.
Yes.
We were able to go in. We had the camp for 4 days for the girls, and then we had the closing ceremony, which made it the 5th day. And it was just really, as it always is, for me, very heartwarming to see the girls come in very nervous, very confused, um, some even upset. And then to see them go to, their shoulders spread and their chest up and the smiles on their faces and tears in their eyes, and just to see healing take place. So overall, it was, thank God, it was a wonderful time and just a great time of healing.
Oh, wonderful. That is incredible. That is just incredible. So, Linda, had you ever been to Liberia before?
No, I hadn't been. This was my first time. And like Goumah said, it was really, really wonderful and transforming for me to see the girls and hear the tone of their voice change in just a few days. They have lots and lots of potential, and you could really clearly see that as they opened up and spoke from the heart, drew pictures that really conveyed what they were thinking and how they were growing.
Yeah. You said, did you say draw pictures?
Yeah, they drew pictures of the way they felt when they came into the camp and the way they felt as they were leaving.
Wow.
That
Wow.
was part of the closing ceremony. They showed a real change,
right,
that I think was really genuine.
Yeah. So is that something that you intentionally did, Goumah, to really anchor the transformation that they experienced?
Yes, that is part of the assessment, right, that we have for camp because a lot of the girls are not as literate. It's important for us to find a way that fits our cultural context. So the
Mhm.
drawing is really a good way to do it, or sometimes writing a few words. So they get to draw before, and you get to see what they look like, what they felt, and then they also get to do an after so that we can see how they're progressing.
Oh, how wonderful. And then do they take that with them or do you keep that or what happens to that?
We keep some things, but we actually gift them their drawing. So what we do is we laminate the drawing for them. And they have a particular art piece that they do, which is a reminder of the one place in the world where they feel safe. So we get to laminate that for them and they take that home with them and they get to keep it wherever they choose to. So they're able to look at it from time to time and be reminded that there is a safe place for them whenever they're feeling down. Yeah.
That is incredible to have such a visual anchor like that. And
Mhm.
you brought up not all the girls are literate. So
Mhm.
what can we go through like about what are the ages that are there? And then if you would also let me know a little bit more about the literacy there for these girls in Liberia.
Mhm. So we had as young as, I believe this camp was 9. I think our youngest was 9. And then they went up to 17 to 18. So in terms of literacy rate, at least on camp, I want to say at least 60 to 70% of them were not well lettered. Um, and then you have, the rest of them who came from homes where the parents could afford, so maybe about 10% or so who, are really in school and kind of moving along. But a lot of them are struggling with reading and writing
Right,
because they're just behind in terms of their education.
right, right. Because education all has to be paid for privately in
That's
Liberia, right?
correct. That's correct. It has to be paid
So
for. Even the public schools are paid for. Mhm.
even the public schools. So
Yes.
education is really a luxury after
Yes.
water, food, and shelter.
Hmm. That's
Okay.
correct.
And again, many of these girls have been gone through physical trauma. So there was even a 9-year-old that had that experience.
Oh yeah, there are younger girls with that experience. I mean, I have images. I'm not running camp for babies, but I have pictures sent to me of girls as young as 2.5 who are experiencing sexual trauma. Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. It's just shocking. Absolutely shocking. So where I know you said that you secured a place that's safe for them and it's a camp that you rent out. And
Hmm.
so who like how I think you said you have about 100. Did you have about 100 girls there?
Well, 100 signed up, but we're only able this time to take in 46 girls plus the 5 adult women that we provided services for because financially we just couldn't afford 100. It would have been way too much for me.
Right, right, right. So that's an opportunity for every um, present humanitarian and budding humanitarian donor, gifter, that this is such a tremendous need. And I'm sure if you could get unlimited funding, you probably would have an unlimited number of girls you could take in because unfortunately, it sounds like this is quite a rampant issue there.
It is. And yes, the more funds we have, the more we can do in terms of really helping the girls to heal, helping them go to school. And that's something that's on Linda. Linda wanted to share more on, so I'll let her do that.
Okay.
But I think she saw the need for us to add that component. But right now, of course, my focus has been really just getting them the mental wellness because that's important even for them to focus in school.
Right.
So we're really working on that. And the more funds we have, the more we can do. The need is immense. It's
Yeah.
just that at this point, we have limited resources. Really, that's what it is.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Definitely. Well, Linda, if you want to elaborate a little bit more about your experience, we would love that.
Mhm.
I went over with an open mind, not having been there before,
Mhm.
and got enough. They're they they speak English, but it's easier for them to speak kind of a dialect. Um, that I wasn't familiar with. So I did a lot of learning and following and hand signs and smiling and interacting non-verbally, and then trying to interact verbally. But some of the older girls were very good with their English, and a couple of them would come over and talk to me during breaks.
Right.
And I'm not sure why, but I got a nudge, I think, from God about this one particular girl, and we just kind of hit it off, and so I kind of adopted her, and now paying for her school. And one of the questions she asked me was, she was all excited, and I asked her mom and the context there first, so to make sure that it was okay. But but she said, "Why did you choose me?" And I said, I don't think I chose you. I think God chose us and to put us together. And I'm not sure why he did that either. But why don't we pray about it and read scripture and keep in touch, and we can figure that. He can help us figure that out. So that's what we're going to do. But it's she's precious, and there's so many like that. She happens to be now just started her senior year of high school.
Right.
When we broke up into smaller groups, I happened to be with the 16, 17-year-olds. And like Goumah said, even within that group, they had a wide range of abilities. Right. And not only ability to speak, but to read, but they could all smile, and they just love to play and talk and be kids. But that was neat to see.
That's amazing. And it sounds like you really approached it from a respectful and dignified way, as far as communicating even with her mother, and I'm sure probably with Goumah. And I also find that I love your vulnerability and your authenticity, that you really you engaged, you felt something in your heart, and you acted upon it. And I think that's just remarkable. And you spent your time, talent, and resource for 28 days to go and support Goumah is, I think, incredible, absolutely incredible. And then instead of stopping there, you answered a call and now have made an additional bridge. That is fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, it's a wonderful experience.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to follow your story and see how all of this beautiful connection continues by your sponsorship with her. Do you plan to try and go back with Goumah in any future time, or what?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only the girls at the camp, but the people in Liberia were absolutely wonderful. I just met so many nice people. Not only, yes, I want to go back. yes.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. And Goumah, so and thank you for going, and thank you for being that that adventurous trailblazer. I'm just so honored to know you.
Yes. Well, let me just say, if I can just add this.
Yes.
It's important for me to say that Linda was not only open-minded, she truly dignified the girls. She did. She went in and she was very humble. She was very kind herself. So, and she was so open to trying everything. just really, she got engaged. She really became a part of the culture. And I think the girls felt it. I know everybody there spoke highly of her. People are still telling me about her to now. Even adults who observed her still saying, "Oh my gosh, she's so wonderful. She's so sweet, and she's so humble." And I think that's what we want attached to Ego Girls.
Right.
We want that kind of posture attached to this call that God has placed here. So I'm just grateful for her and thankful that she was able to do what she did with the girls.
That's incredible. And again, it's amazing the language of the heart and a
Yeah.
smile.
Yes.
The right attitude can really make a difference.
Yes.
And it's not always easy because things are very different in each culture, and to be so mindful and respectful of that, Linda, that's incredible. Thank you for representing all of us so well.
Yes.
So
I had a very good coach.
yes. And so, did you want to share any pictures, Goumah? Is that something that we can do?
Sure, I can share a few. So let me just go ahead and
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, just bear with me. Yes, I pulled up a few pictures.
Right. Because I'll just speak to a few things that we want to be mindful of.
That's right.
Some of the girls' privacy and just mindful and considerate. But we did want to try to show you some pictures. We had hoped that we would be able to Zoom with the girls while you were all there, and it just didn't line up. There'll be another time.
Yes.
I believe that everything happens for a reason, and so I think. Are you going back again in December?
Well, it all comes down to finances. If we have it, we'll do it December. If not, we're going to do it next December. That's the plan.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
The GoFundMe is still open. We're still raising funds. We'll see what happens as we go along.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes. Can you highlight a picture or?
Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull it up. I want to make sure you can see it. So I think I want to start with the little video of the of them arriving in the little school bus. So my aunt has a school, and she has so generously kind of allowed us to use her bus and those things. So that's them. That's like the first group coming in.
I'm looking forward to a wonderful time this year as our girls try. Welcome, girls, the Eagle Girls Trauma Resolution Camp.
Beautiful.
All right. So that's that. They're coming in, and then you get to see them get out of the bus one at a time here. Just so the bus made several rounds, and then I'm gonna show you just as we set up for them some of their little t-shirts that we have here all lined up on the table with the balloons. We use those balls, the beach balls, for icebreakers, kind of help them get familiar with the group and relax a little bit. So we have different questions on there. Let's see this one. I think you can see this one. You'll be able to see the question on it. Can you see it? Should I open it up a little bit?
Yep, I can see it.
There we go. This one says, who do you always have fun with? So we just ask them different questions that they're able to respond to. And then
and do they break out into like groups to do that, or
they break out? No, we're in a big hall at the time, so we're all together in a larger group when they do that. This one is, just give me a few minutes here. So pulse up.
Take your time. Oh, wow.
All right. And this one's just a few of the girls and myself around the banner. That was the banner that we had up there. Can you see that? Are you able to see it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. All right. So that's with them, with our banner there. And then we have, let me see. Here you go. Here you have Miss Linda. She was writing out feeling words for the girls with that big smile. Filling out some feeling words, helping them identify their feelings. And let's see what else we can share. This is like one of the stable banners that we have. So it's one where, the fearless and unstoppable. And that table, usually when we open up camp, we have the table with little resources for them. So whether it's a little book with inspirational words or affirmations, we have pens with affirmations on there. We have little card that we use when we do breakout. We do card games for them. So we have all of that lined up on the table. We have wristbands, and on those wristbands, we have affirmations. So they get to pick the one that they identify with, and then they share in larger groups why they picked that wristband and how that's going to apply, throughout the week or even going forward. So we
That's
do all
fantastic.
the little things just to keep them engaged and keep them feeling good about themselves. This one, we took along some stress balls. So, on the balls, we also have affirmations again. If a girl felt anxious, she could walk to the table, pick up a ball, and kind of squeeze it as we're processing. So just things to help them. Because lots of anxiety shows up, as you can
Right.
expect, when we gather.
Right.
And then this one is them in line, going in to register the
Yeah.
first day,
Yeah.
chatting with each other as they're waiting to register. And then we have one of our volunteers, Miss Betty, who just from day one, she showed up and she has been consistent at every camp, volunteering to help us with the girls. So there they are registering, making sure they have their badges and tags and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, this is a fun one. So they were out in the field playing and they were jumping up and down and just some
Uh,
of a few of them returned from the first camp, so they were there to work on another trauma story. So they don't get to do the same story over and over. They work on one, and if they come the next time, they work on another one. So some of them knew each other and they were happy to see each other. So, they were there going back and forth.
right.
Uh,
That's a great concept. So they work on one story and then they kind of like let that one go and heal from it.
yes,
They can
yes,
go if unfortunately they have another story, they can
correct,
tackle that one.
correct.
That's wonderful to not stay stuck in a loop.
Exactly. And so that's the larger group. When we gather, that's kind of what we look like. We're in this big hall. We have a little projector there. It's this facility is owned by a fellow who lives abroad, and they also have a church. This is where they usually have church services on Sunday. So, but we gather, this is the hall we use when we're there. So we do our larger groups here, and then for smaller groups, we break out into the field. So it's a nice little facility he has. The outside is nice. I would like it to be cared for a little better, but the outside is really nice. So we kind of do small groups outside there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
wonderful.
Yeah. So that's what they look like all gathered in the group. And then, we do meal times and then you get to see them eat here.
Yeah,
We provide feeding for them 3 times a day. So many of them don't really get that at home. So this is like a luxury for them to have to get 3 meals. So,
right,
they're really happy and, you know,
right,
uh, when we're
right.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just some of those basics that we all take for granted.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So you see them
And
having
so they're there how many days and nights?
So the first camp, they were there 10 days and night. So the 10 days and whatever, that's like 9 nights or so. And then this one, they were there 4 days. So there were 3 nights and then 4 full days of camp. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And in one of our processing group, you don't get to see the girls process, but this is Linda. This is exactly kind of what they were doing. This one was the body hug. So she was there with them, also doing the same thing.
Right.
Um,
Right.
as a facilitator of camp. Yeah,
That's wonderful to, self-love, because we talk about that as
that's right.
humanitarians. You have to take care of yourself first. If
That's
your
right.
cup is empty, you have nothing to pour into anyone else.
You don't have it. That's right. That's right. And then this is just myself teaching. Um, And I try to always wear a t-shirt that speaks to the mind. So it's every day I have some kind of t-shirt that says something. One of them says, to the person behind me, something about we love having you in the world. The world is better because you're in it. Or be kind to your mind, as you see in this one. I try to wear something that the girls can
Yep.
feed.
Well, thoughts are things, and you're leading by example. It's incredible.
Right, right. Just doing that. And then so we, in addition to having the group, I also do breakout one-on-one with the girls. So
Okay.
I pick one day and I see each girl for session one at a time. So they're all hanging out, and then we have the facilitators bring them in as one person is done, next person comes in. So you'll see me sitting here with them out on the patio. That's their one-on-one session we're having. The girl back is turned, of course, because just for confidential
Right.
purpose. But yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So
That's fantastic that they get a one-on-one. I'm sure that that's quite a luxury too. I think you said that there really aren't very many or any services provided to them.
no, they don't have that. We don't have mental health counseling in the country. So really, this is a luxury for them. Yes, quite a privilege, I would say, for them to be able to do that. So
Right.
that's another girl. They're having her one-on-one session, um,
Right.
and this is the the kitchen staff. You see these big pots, kind of what they cook in her
Oh,
house. Yes. So
that's a lot
she's
of
just
people to feed breakfast, lunch, and dinner to.
exactly. Yeah. So she's there stirring. And one of the things that we did also at the end of camp, I did a session for the kitchen staff. So they got to have their own time of processing.
Oh,
Um,
wow. And so
mhm.
the kitchen staff, did you need to hire them
Yes,
to come in and yes, but
yes.
they too have experienced some traumas?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They have too. Many of them were born during the war. So they also have their own traumas that they're living with, but they're
Right.
there. They're actually staff that comes from the school, so we're using them at a lower rate, but we still have to give them something to be there,
Right. Right.
working. Yeah, and they just go all out as you see there. It's like rice and chicken and just making sure the girls have food to eat.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's just beautiful.
Yeah. Um, Let's see what else. All right, the cross activity. This is one activity that we do. We
Yeah.
have the girls, we all know as believers that there are things that we can do, and then there are things that we have to surrender to God. So we have the surrender exercise, and then the girls write down all the things that they feel like they can't control, that they want God to take control over. So
Right.
they do that, and we have a cross ceremony. So we worship, and then they nail those to the cross. So that's what you see us doing here.
Right. Right. So they kind of release that burden.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And their peers stand by and they all stand and they kind of support them in the process. So we do a circle and each girl comes and, they nail the burden to the cross.
It's
So
wonderful.
that's what you see.
I love how visual your healing process is for the girls.
Yeah, yeah, we try to do that. Um, I believe this must have been after the cross ceremony. That always gets me. So I'm sitting there and someone captured that picture. But just overwhelmed with all of the emotions taking
Right.
place there. Um,
Right.
so um
So, and if I may, how do you, as a seasoned humanitarian, not only in your for-pay job as a counselor, I know you have to experience just a lot of heavy and challenging topics, and then in addition, giving of your time, and your resource. How do you keep yourself full? How do you keep yourself healthy?
mhm. So three things. One is my faith in God.
Mhm.
That keeps me. The other thing is I have a very supportive family. I'm blessed. I'm
Yeah.
truly blessed. I have a very supportive family. And then I just have really good friends. And I have an aunt, she was there. That aunt is my confidant. She's like my second mom. She's, after with my mother being gone. But she's just everything to me. So that's who I talk to, that's who I confide in, that's who I share with, when I'm heavy. And she holds me down. So between all of those things, I have good friends, exercise, all of those things keep me grounded. And if it's too much and I need to sit with someone, I have a seasoned clinician who's been in the field for over 40 years. And I sit with her and process, do my own trauma work. Because I do have to discharge some of that every now and then. So that's
Right.
kind of what I do. Mm-hmm.
What a healthy and grounding way to handle all of that and keep moving forward so positively.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So just a few more. And then, so some of what the girls nailed, you get to see some on paper here. This one says fear, pain, weeping, abandonment, he meant to say, and then peace help, right? That's what this person was looking for.
Right.
Part of it was nailed to the cross. Let's see if we can read one more. Let me get a shorter one here. I take my glasses off to read this one, but it says, I believe she's saying, God make her. This one says, God make it work for me in my life and future. Thank God for my mother and me. I know that my future and my job is in your hand. Help me, please, Papa God.
Wow. Wow. Do all of these girls have mothers and fathers?
Not all of them.
Okay.
Not all of them. Actually, the majority of them, for some reason, there seems to be a pattern with the fathers either just not being there or having the means but choosing not to support them. Some of them are overseas and they just don't look back. So a lot of the girls have father's wounds. We have to deal with that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So let me see what else.
And is the government or local organizations, are they starting any initiatives to fight against this abuse of girls, young girls, and well, women in general? And I guess, do you ever come across boys and men as well?
Oh yeah, there are boys. As a matter of fact, when this camp ended, I I laughed because there was a young boy, excuse me, there was a brother who called me and said, "Can I talk to you?" And I went and he said, "When are you going to do Eagle Boys?" He
Uh,
said, his sister goes to camp and then she goes home and he sees the joy in her. And he said, "When are you going to do Eagle Boys?" Right? So that was just touching. I mean, I was honest with him
oh,
and said, "We have to pray. I can't afford that right now." But we have to pray for that. And maybe God would, raise someone else up to do that. We never
right,
know,
right,
so yeah. So just another girl praying that she wants God to change her ways and make her a better person for tomorrow. Some of them were there because they wanted to forgive themselves. This could be one of those
right,
girls. That was
right,
some of the trauma as well. That God
right.
will help them to forgive themselves.
But
So
that's universal in all of our journeys.
that's
Sometimes
right.
we have to work at forgiving others, and sometimes we have to work at forgiving ourselves.
Correct, correct. So let me just stop this a little bit and then reshare because it got stuck for some reason.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
It was beautiful though. It's beautiful. The facility is beautiful that you're able to use. And you can tell the girls, just look like they're delighted to be there. And you've just engaged them in such a beautiful and meaningful way.
Thank you, thank you. I think they really are. They're happy to be there. Let me show what's happening here. But
They also, if I could break in a little
yes,
bit,
go ahead while
have,
I'm
have
doing
an
this.
amazing singing abilities
Oh,
and dancing. I was very impressed with how loud they were. They weren't shy about that at all, and also just how engaging the songs were that they were singing.
Yeah.
All of them together.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
that sounds like a lot of joy there and some high frequency energy.
Yes. Lots of that. Lots of that. They, at the end of the day, we all just want to feel better, right? So I think, once they begin to feel better, it changes everything.
Right.
It really does.
Right.
And this one is the cross when they're done nailing all of their requests to the cross. It's a full cross, as you can see.
Yeah.
And then we move to the back of it and there
Wow.
continue at the back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
then
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh,
And
look at that. Look at them
yes,
together. Oh, how beautiful. And I
yes,
know you said, you just noticed how the girls heal faster when they're together. And I think that's true for all of us. We
yes.
all like someone who's like-minded or who can hold space for us and really, can be empathetic and understand and listen from the heart, not judge us.
That's right. That's correct. We heal in group. We do heal in community. We heal in groups. So it just shows every time they come together on day one, they're shy. By day two, they see that, okay, I'm not the only one with a problem. We all have something that we're working through, and
Right,
it helps them to progress. So yeah,
right.
this is Linda and myself here with the girls. You know, again, their backs are turned to maintain their dignity there. Um, and confidentiality. But yeah, so that's that. Oh, this might be one of the ones where Linda's talking about. Let's see. Where they're singing and dancing. Um, there you go.
Oh,
And what this song is saying, it says that there's a movement taking place for God in the younger generation. And so what they're saying there is, Jesus, when you call my name, I will answer, I will be on time. Right?
oh,
Is what
oh, how wonderful. Linda alluded to the local language. What is the local language?
So in Liberia, we have what's called the colloquial. Colloquial is broken English. So it's English mixed with some dialects, mixed with just all kinds, some French, some English, and some local dialects. So it's all mixed up. And Liberians tend to speak really fast. We're fast talkers. So when we're talking amongst ourselves, you can really get lost. It's hard to follow. Um, but the national language is English. So English is first language. So you'll find among the educated class, they'll speak the English.
Right.
But then on the day-to-day in the streets, all you hear are the colloquial. So you just hear some fast talking back and forth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And it's blend of English, French, and colloquial.
Yeah, and dialects, local dialects. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. So it's called colloquial, yeah. But that's just them worshiping and that kind of stuff.
Well, they look so joyful and happy together there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think at one point they grabbed Linda. Let me see if it's this one. Is it the one that they grab you on to dance in the circle? I think that's it. Oh, okay, not this one. But one of them they grab her and she was in the circle dancing with them as well. Uh,
I think those girls really enjoyed you being there, Linda.
Not
I
as much
think
as
so
I
too.
enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so this is the closing ceremony. In the closing ceremony, we had the parents come in. So they were there with the girls.
right,
And that way they get to witness. So that's when the girls come with, they have little posters, and they on the front they have the before, so they have some words that describe what they felt before camp, and then they turn it around and they have some words that show how they're feeling after camp, and the parents get to witness that. So that's the closing ceremony. Then we gave them certificates for attendance, and then they also get the laminated calm safe place drawing.
right. Wow. You just have a beautiful full circle program for them.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Very,
that's
very well thought out. So dignified, so encouraging, so collaborative. I think it's just remarkable.
Thank you. Thank you. And so that's some of the drawing that you see on the table, some of what they drew.
Right,
Uh-huh. All there.
right,
All there.
right.
But that's camp. That's
Yeah.
that's the trauma and
Uh,
restoration camp.
well, ladies, I can't thank you enough for, oh, look at this, feeling words. Wow.
Mhm.
You really teach them emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Yes.
Incredible.
All right. So I'll stop sharing and
Yeah,
let
no, it's great. This is incredible. And I hope that it inspires everyone that has a chance to listen to this video, that they can think about how they can help Eagle Girls. I will make sure and put your website in the information. And I also hope it inspires people to, get out there and do something today, tomorrow, and in the future, but do something, help somebody. And I always say, there's no act of kindness that is too large or too small. And so everyone can do something, whether it's just like Linda had the beautiful language of love, presence, and heart. The girls just could tell she was joyfully being there, and they felt comfortable with you. And that's our new world that we're heading into is, we're all connected, and we all need to be respectful of each other. But most importantly, we all need to roll up our sleeves and do something. So, Goumah, I can't thank you enough for your inspiration. That not only did you didn't come to the States and just forget about everything else in your past. You went back and made an impact in a way that is so profound, with a tremendous ripple effect, because each one of those girls will heal another girl, and that will heal 2 more girls and 4 more girls through those examples. And and Linda, again, you taking time, talent, and resource, and going over there with your big heart and smile, and making friends, and then going the extra mile and adopting someone and helping her with her education. So, does anyone have anything else they'd like to add before we sign off? No?
I think I just want to say thank you for hosting this, and for hosting the first gathering, and trying to bring awareness to Eagle Girls. We thank you for that. And I love what you said in terms of respect for one another. I think that's really, for me, that's really important. So I'm happy that we're able to do that, and we can just keep on doing all that we can to help girls become healthier women. So thank
Right.
you.
Right. Well, thank you. And I also, again, want to thank you, Linda, because your involvement was through word of mouth, came to me through my dear friend Luis and Debbie, and several others. And then we had a little get together in Atlanta before you all had taken off to do some awareness and some fundraising. And we had a lovely group of ladies that came together, and that's what it's all about. We all just try to do what we can each and every day. So thank you again. This has been Infinite Humanitarians, and we've had the honor and privilege to talk to 2 ladies changing the world today, tomorrow, and in the future. Take care. Be good to yourself.